But okay, so then let's see, as God says let there be light in chapter 1, this is interesting when he says in verse 6, and God said let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters, and God made the expanse and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above, and it was so. So God called the expanse heaven, and there was evening and there was morning the second day. So he never says here it was good. All the other things he restored, he said it was good. With man he said it was very good. With this he didn't say it was good when he expanded the waters. Why? Because the fallen angels, what I'm theorizing, I also got this from G.H. Pember, Earth's Earliest Ages. I read his book, and that gave me some of the when I prayed to the Lord to show me where all this stuff, how this fits in the dinosaurs and all that, I found some answers from different people. He said, and that's where I got that from, he never said it was good, because when he brought the expanse out, the waters from the waters, because in the air there's water, the fallen angels were released into the air. They were trapped, they were judged and trapped in the waters when they were judged. But when God started restoring, he wanted to create man, because he did create man with the dirt and with his breath. He breathed life into us. The fallen angels were released into the air. So fallen angels in the Bible, you see, are different than demons. Demons are disembodied spirits. Now, I used to think that they could have been from the animals of the dinosaurs, those animals that were judged. Their spirits were released, and those are the demons that are usually in a body of water, disembodied. They're in water. Angels, fallen angels, Lucifer, who is an angel, and the third angels that fell, were released into the air. These have form. They have bodies, okay? They have some kind of form. They're not disembodied. So these fallen angels were released. Now, the demons, this is what I was actually talking to my wife today and trying to figure out how I was going to explain the demons, and I actually just kind of thought about this today, that this could be where the demons come from. When you look later on, during Noah's time, okay, so the Nephilim, what are the Nephilim? Okay, this is really strange. So Satan was judged, and the fallen angels, they were trapped in the water. The pre-Adamic race was destroyed, and Satan and the fallen angels were trapped when God cast them down. And then in verse 2, God started to recover the earth. He had the water come up and the land came up. Just to clarify, he didn't recreate the earth and the heavens in Genesis 2. He just restored it. And then the animals, the fish, he had the vegetation come up. He created the animals, the fish of the sea. And then he said, then finally he made man and breathed life into him. And then we see Satan there. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. There was a lot of things happening before Adam and Eve. Then what God wants to do with man is he wants to reproduce his life into us. He put him between two trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Tree of knowledge of good and evil was the same tree, good and evil, on the same tree. He was not supposed to eat that. He was supposed to eat life. Life, which you can see all through the Bible. God is wanting to give man his life, God's life into our spirit, into us. He wants to birth himself into us, which eventually in the New Testament you see he birthed himself into a woman, into a virgin. This was God's plan. He wanted to mingle his life with humanity, God and man becoming one, and creating a new race, a new species, which eventually, because we have God's life, we are now able to marry God. That's what Revelation talks about. So this is the Bible. It's a love story. You see in the Old Testament, when God made Adam in Genesis, none of the animals matched Adam. So he was lonely. He needed something out of his side, out of his flesh, a woman who is just like him, the same species, the same kind. He was able to marry Eve because Eve came out of his side. The church, God wanted to birth himself in man, mingle himself to man, and then eventually we would be just like God. And then God is like us now, and we can marry Jesus, who is God and man. Okay, so Satan, Lucifer, is a copycat. He always wants to do the same thing. So we can see in the Bible, he also did this. As I was going to show you, you're in Genesis 6:4 now. What happened was something weird. Most people who, you read about the Bible, you hear about the Bible, you don't hear about this story. This is a story about, it says in Genesis 6:4, this is the Bible, okay? This is not my Bible, this is the Holy Bible. The Nephilim, what are the Nephilim? Were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans, these are fallen angels, came down to the daughters of humans and had children by them. What? They were the heroes of old, men of renown. So Satan came down with the fallen angels, and if it was Lucifer himself, I don't know, but the fallen angels came down and had children with humans. He mingled himself with humanity, and they made the men of renown the Nephilim. Okay. Later on, when the children of Israel were going to go in the good land, there were giants again, and some scholars say these were the Nephilim again. Satan came down again and did the same thing with humans. So Satan is also trying to reproduce himself. He's trying to mingle himself with humanity. But his purpose for that is to enslave humanity, destroy you, and to bring you also into destruction where he is going, to death, destruction, enslavement. So you know, when you're following the devil, when you're living a life apart from God, you're in enslavement, you're in addictions, you're in sorrow, you're in depression, you're in things that are not making your life, not building your life up. There are things that are bringing your life down, because the devil is going to the lake of fire, and all he wants to do is bring as many people with him. And so who are these Nephilim? These were angel and humans mixed together. So my theory, which I just was thinking about today when I was talking to my wife, is when in Noah's time, this was during Noah's time, so it got so messed up. There was angels and humans mingling together and having, superhero kids or whatever. God had to wipe everything out again. He judged it again. Now, so God judged, and these Nephilim were destroyed in the water. Now, this is what I'm thinking, because animals are killed, animals drown, animals die, and they don't become demons. So the pre-Adamic race, when they were judged, I don't think they became the demons, the dinosaur spirits and all them. I think they died, just like a dog dies, it's dead. The Nephilim were half angel, half man. So when they were judged in Noah's time and drowned, then I think possibly the spirit of those Nephilims continue to stay trapped in the water, disembodied spirits. They're not all human, they're not all angel, so they couldn't just die like a human, and they couldn't be released like an angel. They became disembodied spirits. Those are demons. And a lot of times you look in the Bible, I'm going to show you one last verse where you see there's a distinction between fallen angels are in the air usually in the Bible, demons are in the water, in the deep. Usually they're disembodied, so they need to be in some kind of water or in an animal, like they're in the pigs, they're in humans, because they need to find a host to be in. So those hosts, when you're possessed by a demon or the demon possession, I think that could be those fallen angel spirits, those fallen angel Nephilims that were mingled with human and man. So maybe just that's my theory, but I think it makes a lot of sense, because some people are confused about demons and fallen angels. They think they're the same thing. I don't think so. The fallen angels are Satan and the third of the angels that he took with him when he fell, because he had a high position. So when he fell, he had authority. He took those ones with him, and that caused judgment on the earth. The disembodied spirits, demons, I think those are the Nephilim, okay, who are judged. And so if you allow yourself to be possessed or in contact with demons. Now let me show you in the New Testament where there's a distinction. Where there's a time when Jesus was on a boat, he was crossing over the water, and it became a storm, and they woke him up. He was sleeping, he wasn't worried. But this is interesting, because the demons and fallen angels want to stop God. They want to stop Jesus. They want to stop us from doing God's work, his ministry. So they try to frustrate, Jesus. So Jesus told, here it is, and there arose a great windstorm. There was waves. They woke him up. We're perishing. They're scared. And having awoken, he rebuked the wind and said to the sea, be silent, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. So he rebuked the wind and the sea. So by rebuking the wind, he rebuked the fallen angels. Stop. You don't have authority. Jesus has authority over the evil one. Okay, so he may have power on this earth, but Jesus has authority over them, and he said stop. He told the sea stop. When the man who was possessed, Jesus cast the demons out. They went in the pig. Where did they go? The pigs, 2,000 or 3,000, into the sea. That's where the demons went.